Welcome back to the Block Party. I am your host, Dekota Raine, and while you were away, I had a special guest sneak into the studio, Buck Dollar. What's up?
Man, what happened with you?
For all of you who may not know, I don't know who that would be, but Buck Dollar is the president of BBE, Big Boy Entertainment.
Yes, sir, in the flesh.
So tell us a little bit, first of all, how you got with BBE.
Okay, we were involved with another entertainment label back in, let's say, early 2000s, going into like 2004. Shout out to King Kato. I ain't forgot about you, cuz I appreciate it. And we had some misunderstandings at that particular time with a guy who was in the label with us. So at that point, he introduced me to the Big Boy and everything. And it was really a little funny at first because we had a past. And it had nothing to do with music. But when you're able to put that stuff to the back and move forward your future, that's exactly what we did. And we started, it was just four of us, me, TK, C-How, and GD, y'all know him as the Enforcer. And from there we continued to grow, and I mean, we at right now. Okay,
that's what's up. Now, you are with Big Boy now, but a lot of people don't know you go way back, like all the way back to Jazz Real type days.
Man, absolutely. Righteous Records, in my opinion, just from where I was at, they gave birth to a lot of this hip-hop, rap, whatever you want to see here in the city. Those were the first guys I saw do anything major. Jazz Real, Fontaine, Gangsta Players. Gangsta Players, that's my family. You know,
okay.
That's Cassius and Ronnie J and Shaq. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the family, Neil Boys for life. But they did it, and about '95, that's when I started really believing that I could do it too. And from there, we got on with, y'all might know him as Step Lewis, we call him Step Off. And we did SOP and so forth. So, like I said, my history with this Tuscaloosa hip hop, we run deep. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just music to me.
Okay. Now, speaking of history with Tuscaloosa hip hop, you performed your song American Gangster at the Crimson Bar. And basically, it was a lot of young cats in there. Like, you were the only old school. And the way they stood up and just, you commanded attention with that song. And we're going to get into the meaning of American Gangster, but we're going to go to a video right now. So.
Absolutely.
All right.
We'll get back to it.
What you know, even if you take it blow for blow, never let go. Keep falling till you drop and reach the top. Either win or lose, you still gotta choose to go hard or go home. Bow down or get down. Just hold your head steady. Tell your opponent it's time to go round for round, match for match. Tell success to watch your back, 'cause I'm ready for a rematch. Go hard or go home.
And welcome back to the Block Party. I'm your host, Dekota Raine. And what you just saw was Go Hard or Go Home, featuring Hattie B and Buck Dollar.
Already.
We had to hit you with the throwback because that video has history with us. That was one of the first videos on the Block Party. It's been in rotation for years.
Yeah.
Give us some history about that one.
Hattie B was working on her first album. She's a special artist to us because she has a lot of soul to her. People may not understand what it is to go in and be an artist. Everything comes from the heart. Hattie shows that in everything that she does. It was taxing to work on the album with her, but to see the finished product, it was awesome, man. And when you look at Go Hard or Go Home, I've seen people while we perform it, they sit up there and they rap the words with you. As an artist, that's what you love.
Okay, and speaking of taxing, to work with an artist that's passionate, by you being the president of BBE, and a lot of people out there that are just getting started, they say they have a record label, but they may not have a president or a CEO, and there's no distribution of responsibilities. Kind of explain the business side versus the artist side, because artists are emotional, they're passionate, that's how they get their music out, but you kind of have to counterbalance that, and you're that person for BBE.
It's all about structure. You don't have any structure, I don't care what you're doing, any small business to a large business, it's gonna fail. One of the things that I always respected about Big Boy, if anything else, was his word and the fact that he's always business-minded and he's thinking forward. You can rely on certain things that you've seen other people do, but for the most part, man, you gotta be creative, you gotta take risks. Anything that I say, he pretty much co-signs with, and it's vice versa. Now, one thing about it is, always in the forefront, we're gonna be in agreement, regardless of what may have happened behind closed doors, because one thing about it, we put the brand before anything else. And if you're gonna be running a company, you have to understand that's what you have to do first. Put your brand forward, put all personal assets and things to the side, because everybody's trying to eat, everybody's trying to come up to whatever degree they do. Over here, like I said, I'm the president, I'm also one of the engineers. I try to help structure albums with any artist. Anything that we got going on as far as shows on the road, I do most of the talking. When it gets to a certain point where I feel like the person is legitimate, then we pass the call on over to big. When you're a CEO, that means you got to oversee everything. It's something that I don't envy whatsoever because I do enough on my end. But if you're gonna do it, set you up a budget. Y'all gotta really look at what are you trying to achieve. Like I said, we're an entertainment company, not a record label. It's
a business, difference. That's right, it's a business. At the end of the day, that's the music business. Now, another thing I want to touch on before we go into this, we'll wait till after we come back from the video. So we're gonna check out another video and we'll be right back with Buck Dollar of BBE, of course, and he's gonna answer all of your questions, or at least the most important ones.
Absolutely.
Welcome back to the Block Party. I'm your host, Dekota Raine, and I am still kicking it with my boy, Buck Dollar.
Absolutely, the man is in the building.
Okay, so we were talking about the business side of things and how this is the music business.
Yes.
I've heard a lot of talk that BBE gets a lot of favoritism around town because your music is seen everywhere. The videos, you get music play on the radio. But one thing that you were discussing behind the scenes before we got started with Shabazz is how he inspired you to do 2 cuts of music. So kind of explain it, because Big Boy always says, if you're always ready, you never have to get ready.
He actually lives by that moniker. A while back, like I said, the Go Hard or Go Home video was a great example of that. When you're trying to make sure that you get your stuff industry ready, you need to have more than one version of your song. You can be an artist and do it explicit as you want to, but you gotta have something that's gonna get on the radio and be able to go across the country. So one of the things that happened from working with Shabazz, and I appreciate it too, bro, is that we learned that we need to go ahead and do maybe 2 or 3 different versions of it. So that way, once the video is done, we can send in the radio edited version of it and keep it moving and everything. So that's something that, regardless, at the end of the day, you got to be on point. Your business is everything.
Okay, so you're, a lot of people don't see you because you are most of the time behind X Factor.
Yeah, I have to be.
So X Factor, of course, is one of the well-known groups, but who else is with BBE?
Outside of X Factor, we got Snapback Tony. We got Brussy, who's been there for a while with us. We getting him back on track. We got Miracle Monroe as well. This is another young lady who's definitely on fire, man. One thing about it over here, Big is always trying to bring somebody else up. He has a huge heart. Anytime that you can give back to your community and give somebody else that same platform, that's what we go do. X Factor is a phenomenal group. These guys have literally sat there and watched us since they were probably the age of 8 and so forth. So everything that you see from X Factor is a manifestation of what you've seen from the Kings of Dixie and everything that's ever went into the Big Boy Entertainment brand. Okay,
so we got X Factor, we got Miracle, we got Snapback, and we got Brussy. And you can't forget about Guy and his cookie.
Man, the stories I got about me and Guy is unbelievable. that's probably the only person I've ever been around that is a complete artist. He can sing, he can rap, he can produce everything. Anything that you want from the guy's on point. I mean, absolutely great talent. He's one of the guys, like I said, I'll always revert to him if it's certain songs that I'm doing and I just need that extra opinion. It's one of the people I do. And when it comes to that Cookie record, man, y'all have no idea how old that song is. So remember, just because it's old to you, don't mean that it's old to the audience. It's always brand new to them. One thing about BBE, we always believe in hitting the road. That's the reason why our brand is out there. I love Tuscaloosa. I never turn my back on Tuscaloosa, but Tuscaloosa is not where the buck started. You know what I'm saying? So you have to go to Memphis, you have to go to Arkansas, you have to go down to Louisiana, Texas, Florida. And I'm saying all this because that's where we've been. We've been as far up to Canada. And you know, there's no excuse for it. If you want it, you go do everything you can to get it. I see some guys around here that's actually doing it too, and I appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep flying that banner and let everybody know that Tuscaloosa got talent. Shout out to the 6th Trade.
Block party, gotta keep it jumping. We on the block party, gotta keep it jumping.